Hi, thanks for joining me to color. Today we are going to be working on this adorable We Stamps image called Sweetie. Isn't she cute? This is for my Color Wednesday blog post for March 23rd of 2016. I will put a link to the cute little image down in the description box if you'd like to head over and grab one and color along with me. I have stamped my image on Neenah 80-pound Solarite cardstock, so let's color. So let's start out by outlining our image, and for this we're going to use BG Quadruple Zero and my colorless blender. Okay, so I'm going to start over here next to, let's just start over here on the flowers, and I'm just going to flick my BG Quadruple Zero away from my image, and I'm going to kind of go around each one of these cute little leaves and such. And if you get some on there, it's so light you're not even going to notice, but if you're worried you can erase it with your colorless blender. And let's go around over here, and go around those little dots, and work my way back over here to the other side of my flower, and go around this little dot, and then we just want to go all the way around our girl and back to where we started. So I'm going to pull all this out here, go around these little flowers again. And then let's go up like this, and I want my color to go out past her little antennae. So let's go right up over the top of that. I'm going to turn my girl away again, and I'm kind of keeping my streaks going the direction away from the paper so they don't have any like weird angles. I'm just trying to pull it straight away from my girl and out into the background. And get in here, there's a little space. And again, go around her hair. And around this space. And we gotta work our way back around underneath. Let's turn her this way. I flick a little bit better if I'm flicking away from me. And back over here. And underneath of her dress and her foot. And then let's go back over here and connect these dots. Okay, I've went all the way around, so now I'm going to grab my colorless blender, and and this works best if it's wet, so you want to make sure your blender is filled up. And I'm just going to go in a circle over that entire blue area out into the white. So I want to make sure to get the edge. That will kind of soften it and make it not look so stark. And if you do this first, then you don't have to worry, because I colored right over the top of most of her. Here it goes onto her face and her hair, and actually it's erasing some that I got on the leaves here just by going over the top of them. And just soften it all up so she's got a nice pretty blue-green background. Let's do her skin and her cheeks next. For her skin I'm going to use E21, E00, E000. For her cheeks I'm going to use R12 and R11. I'm going to start with my E21 down here on her leg. So let's use our E21, and I'm going to go right next to this leg and next to her arm. And then I'm going to do the bottom of her foot that's poking out. I just colored that all the way in. And then on this leg, I want to go up her foot and her calf, and then along the back of her leg and her dress. And then for her arm, let's do where it's touching her knee, and then up here and along the edge of her dress. And then her neck We're going to go down like this. And then for this arm, we're going to bring this arm down next to her body. Like that. And then for her ear, she's got a little bit of her ear and her face poking out. Let's go ahead and color that a little bit. And then let's bring this color up here onto her hair. I'll go right along the edge. And I'm kind of keeping my pen a little bit more straighter so I get a littler line. And then she's got a little bit of her ear showing over here. And next I'm going to grab E00. And I want to touch down on top of my E21 and just pull it out here just a little bit more. Same for this side. Let's go right along the edge of that E21. And I'm going to go ahead and fill in the bottom half of her leg here. And this arm, we're going to go down that side. And it's pretty small, so I'm going to fill that in. And then her chest area right here. And then we want to go up this side. And let's do a little bit on her face. We're going to bring this down. I want to make sure to soften the edge of that E21, so I'm just kind of brushing along it. And then I want to bring this color around on this side of her face. Next I'm going to go with E000, and I want to fill the rest of this white in, so let's go ahead and do her legs and her arm first. We've got a little bit of a line there, so I'm going to dab right over it again. And this side, and then for her face, let's go ahead and fill that in. And I'm not worried if it's a little blotchy because I want to do it a second time after I put her cheek color on. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So let's do R12 for her cheeks. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little dab over here on this side right next to the edge. And then on this side, I want it to be underneath of her eye just a little bit. And then I'm going to grab R11 and soften this side. I think I'll pink this side just a little bit more, so I'm going to grab R12 again. And then R11 again to soften it. And then let's do E00. I'm going to bring this in just a little bit more on her face. And I'm going to flick over this side on the edge of that cheek. And then I'm going to take my E000 and go over her entire face. And I tried to avoid those little dots on her eye. But if you go over them, that's okay. Just use your colorless blender to erase it. And I got a little bit of a shadow right here. Let's soften those lines up just a little bit more. Let's do her hair next. For that, we're going to use E43, 42, 41, and 23. And I'm going to start with my E43. And we're just going to take my pen and I'm going to flick away from the top. I'm going to go down just a little bit extra because I'm going to add my darkest color last. Okay, and then we got a little bit of hair underneath, so let's go ahead and do those. And then I want to go up from the opposite direction, so let's do away from these flowers. And then she's got some of her hair showing back here. I'm going to go ahead and just fill that in because it's in the back. And then we're going to go over here and do this side. And it kind of curls over, so I want to keep my pin going around in a circle. And then let's do this little swirl. And then these little ends here. But these little ends kind of go out from behind this section. So I'm going to go ahead and pull a little bit of color on that side. And then she's got this cute little section down here. Like that. Okay, then we're going to add some E42. So I'm going to go ahead and start back over here on this side. And I'm just going to flick some more color in. I'm going to leave a little bit of white there so I can add a little bit for my last color. work our way around. And then we're going to add E41. So again, let's start over here. And I'm just going to flick some color along in that hair area. And I'm not worrying that I'm not filling it all the way in. And then I want to add some darker streaks with my E23. Let's go right up here. And we're going to do the same thing we did with our E43. And we're just going to add some of these dark streaks. And work our way around these cute little flowers. And down here on the bottom. And then of course there's these little sections that are underneath, so I'm going to fill that one in and then just do a little bit of streaking in here. And then let's work over here to this side. And again, it curls over up here, so we want to bring our pin around with the curl. And then this one's kind of dipping underneath, so I'm going to do a little bit right here. And about this little curl. And these that are coming away from her face. And then I better do, I'm going to leave that. For her dress, let's use W8 and W6. So let's start up here on her bodice. I'm going to do a little dab of my W8 on the sleeve, and then I want to do a little bit right next to her arm. Try not to color her arm. And then this side, we want to go down this side of your arm. And if you don't use your W8 very much, you might want to pop the cap off the other side so that it doesn't make a big blob. Okay, and then this side, she's got a little bit underneath there that's on the opposite side of that stem. And I'm going to bring this color and fill in a little bit of this underskirt, the under backside. Then I'm going to go with W6 to fill it in. And again, if you don't use your W6 very much, make sure to take the other end off so it doesn't make a big blob on your paper. Mine's pretty wet, so I obviously don't use this one very much, or I filled it up. And around, and a tippy bottom. For her little wings, let's use RV42 and R11. I'm going to do my RV42 first, and I'm just going to streak some lines away from her body and down into my wing, and then I'm going to add R11. Same thing, I'm just going to start kind of in the middle of my RV42 and just streak some lines down in the middle. And then I'm going to leave some white out here on the end. For the leaves, let's use YG 99, 93, and 91, and I'm going to start with my YG 99, and I'm going to give each little leaf just a little dab of color at the bottom. And I'm just going to work my way around all the leaves. I'm not being very neat and tidy, just kind of streaking a couple little lines in there. And then let's do this side over here. Okay, and so since we have this color out, let's go ahead and do the stem that she's sitting on too. And it's a really small, so you're just going to use just the very tip of your pen, and don't leave it there too long. You don't want it to soak out and make a big old mess. I'm just going to go right along that stem, like that. Okay, and then we're going to pick up YG93. We're going to add a little bit more to our leaves. So again, I'm just adding a couple little swipes with my pen. And let's do this little section down here. And I always make sure to touch down on top of my last color, so it kind of softens the edge of the color a little bit. And then these over here. And then we want to fill them in with our YG91. And I usually just swirl over the entire area. Even though I already colored the bottom, I'm just going to go ahead and go in a little circle around the whole leaf. And then we'll do this side. And then these little cuties up here. All right, so that leaves us with the flowers. Let's use R14, 32, RV42, and then R11 for those. I'm going to start with my R14. Let's start up here with these in her hair. Let's do a little dab right around the edge of that petal. A little bit there, and then let's go down here and do work on these. So again, let's do right next to this flower. And I'm kind of I want to keep this color to the outside petals. So I'm going to put right around in there. And then we'll do this side over here. And there's a little bit of a petal showing right here, and then this one. Next we're going to have R32. So I'm going to put a little swirl of that on each petal that we gave the R14. And then the ones in her hair. Next we're going to add RV42. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in the rest of these outside petals, and then I want to do the bottom of the flower. So again, the outside petals. And then the bottom of the flowers. Over here, and the bottom, and then I filled in the tops with my R11. Okay, let's grab RV42 and fill in some of these little dots up here. There's a couple over here on this side. And then for these couple of these bigger ones, I'm going to do my R14. And then R32. And then RV42 to fill them in. So there's our beautiful sweetie all colored up. Didn't she turn out cute? I will post the finished card on the blog the Saturday following the Color Wednesday post. So I hope you had fun coloring with me today. If you have a question, leave me a comment and I will get back to you. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.